The shooting of Michael Brown has sparked racial tensions once again in the United States. For more perspective on the lessons to be learned from this case and others from the past, we're joined by Edward Chang. He's professor of ethnic studies at the University of California, Riverside, I should say. He's also the author of the book, Ethnic Peace in the American City, Community Building in Los Angeles and Beyond. Walk us through this process. I mean, you get the sense when you look at Ferguson that these feelings were simmering for some time, that Michael Brown's death was a catalyst for basically this volcanic eruption of feelings. Is that a general sense of what happens when you see something like this?
That's right. It's unfortunately a familiar story once again. Race, criminalization of black youth, poverty, segregation, and police brutality. We've had numerous riots over the last 100 years, beginning with East St. Louis in 1917, 1943 Harlem riots and Watts riot of '65, and of course the Los Angeles riots of 1992. When you look at those riots, racial violence, there are three things that stands out. One, the growing gaps between haves and have-nots, meaning a widening divide between blacks and whites, minorities and whites, and those issues have not been resolved. Second, systemic failure of school systems in inner city and high unemployment rates are always talked about as if it's a time bomb, ticking time bomb, ready to explode any time. And lastly, police brutality has been a major issue in black community, minority communities. They have been complaining over the 100 years. Nothing has changed. And thus far, we can see this coming any city in America during the 21st century.
Edward, let's look at the example of the LA riots back in 1992 following the police beating of Rodney King. You wrote about this in your book on the aftermath of the riots. What's the racial climate there now? How have things changed, and what needs to happen in a community to rebuild after an episode like this?
Right. One of the first things that we need to do, of what we did in Los Angeles, was change the culture and attitudes of LA Police Department. They brought in a new leader from outside, and they put emphasis on community policing, meaning improve relations between LAPD and residents of inner city. And my understanding in Ferguson is that out of 53 police officers, 48 are white and the others are minority. And given the population, 1/3 are white and 2/3 are African American, obviously there needs to be change. They need to bring new leaders who is willing to radically change and improve relations between the two parties here, police department and inner city. I think that's the first and immediate action that city has to take. However, other issues are quite long-term. There is no quick fix. How do you create jobs? How do you improve the school system? How do you care residents in terms of health care? And these are the problems that have been existed over the last 100 years. Therefore, there is no quick fix, and we need a new, visionary, and courageous leader who is willing to tackle these issues and bring major change. And it's not going to be easy, it's not going to be quick, and it's not going to be easy to fix at all.
Edward, given your expertise in this field, how many more Fergusons are there in the United States just waiting to erupt?
It's everywhere. You can pretty much say every major cities in the United States have similar socioeconomic conditions that could explode anytime. Depends on who's going to ignite that match.
Edward Chang joining us from Southern California. Thanks so much.
Thank you.